Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fulfill Your Purpose, where we help you courageously follow your dreams and where you can create the life you love. I'm Lakita Brooks, the motivational maven, and I know you've been watching this, so you know why I'm doing this. I'm here to help you fulfill your purpose because I was the one who wasn't sure what my purpose was. I had kids early. I was a teenage mom, and I gave it all up for them, and I was unhappy. And so I realized I needed that. I needed to fulfill my purpose because I knew I wanted more. And when I began to seek that more, I saw my kids develop into and blossom into something more because they saw me wanting more and really striving for it. And I wanted to share that with others to let people understand that it is so important for you to fulfill your purpose, because it helps cause that domino effect that not just helps you, but other people can see your energy, and it actually helps others to want to fulfill theirs too. So I'm here today with Sheri Riley, and Sheri Riley is a wife, mother, daughter, and entrepreneur. And we all know this is not easy, but she has figured out how to make it simple. She's an empowerment speaker, life strategist, and author. Her award-winning book, Exponential Living, Stop Spending 100% of Your Time on 10% of Who You Are, published by Penguin Random House, is a 2018 NAACP Image Award nominee and has won several 2017 Self-Help Book of the Year awards. She speaks around the world, sharing her message of peace is the new success. Welcome, Sheri.
Hello, how you doing?
I am great. I'm so excited for you to be here today.
Thank you. I'm excited. I am so excited. I've been looking forward to this.
And Sheri, I know this is just a little bit of what you do. Can you tell people a little bit more if you wanted to share more about who you are?
Well, I'm someone who absolutely loves to help people through transformation. I mean, that is the thing that drives me. I love mentoring. With all the amazing accomplishments I've been so blessed to achieve, my greatest achievements are the people that I've mentored. And I've mentored a lot. I mean, from people that were assistants that are now CEOs. And those are the things that really drive me. So outside of being the wife, the mother, the daughter, the entrepreneur, what drives me is mentoring and really helping people through transformation.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about since I'm doing this all about purpose. I want to know your definition and in your own words what you think purpose is.
Yeah, so for me, I don't think purpose is something you find. You know, I'm on the other side of that fence of finding your purpose, and that we have to go outside of ourselves to find our purpose. I truly believe that we're born with it, that it's in us. And I think the challenge that many people have when they say they're struggling with finding their purpose is because they're looking outside of them. And what I love on what you're doing is you're really helping people understand that there's no set way to walk and live and prosper in your purpose. And so I would challenge all of us and encourage all of us to really look inside. I'm a woman of faith, and I believe when God says, I knew you before you were born, that means he purposed you. He said, I sanctified you. I set you apart. So everything that we need is inside of us. And I speak to that from my own personal journey, is every time I finally had the courage to look inside of me, it was already there. Whether it was writing my book, whether it was putting together my speaking messages, whether it was wanting to work in the music industry many decades ago, when it was time to transition, it was always inside of me. And I spent so much time looking for it outside of me. So how I define purpose is it's that thing inside of you that if you couldn't do anything else, now we're great at a lot of things. We're good at many things. But what is that one thing that if you couldn't do that, you couldn't breathe? And stop attaching money to it. You know, the biggest challenge is if the thing that we think is our purpose doesn't align with how we put money in our checkbook or in our checking account, we get discouraged. But what is that thing? Purpose for me is that thing that if you couldn't breathe, if you couldn't do it, you couldn't breathe. And that is what you find inside of you.
Yeah. So how did you know what you always wanted to do? Did you always know what you wanted to do?
What's interesting is at around the age of 14, 15, I knew I wanted to work in the entertainment industry. I knew I wanted to be a part of the entertainment industry. Didn't know what the entertainment industry was, had no information about it. In college, I discovered marketing and knew that I wanted to have a career in marketing. So at 20, 21, I was very clear. At 40, 41, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue. But here's the reality. I knew I was just looking for something external. I was looking for validation because what I was called to do, serve as an empowerment speaker, serve as an author, I couldn't directly correlate that to how I was going to build a business or continue to prosper. So I feel like purpose is something that you're constantly uncovering. You know, where I started in the music industry and marketing, now I'm an empowerment speaker and life strategist. Some people would make you think that I'm out of line with my purpose, that one or the other it can't be your purpose. But the reality is when I was a marketing person, people still listened to me and I was still helping them in transformation. But they hired me for marketing, but they got the benefit of who I am as a person and what I love to do in transformation. Now they pay me for the transformation, but I bring the value of what I do and what I know for marketing. So all of it is intertwined. We just can't try to pigeonhole it into one set thing. So my purpose has constantly evolved.
So Sheri, what you did when you were working in the music industry, do you feel like that just complemented what you're doing now? And it's enhancing what you're doing right now?
It is the bridge. It is the access. It is the foundation. I mean, the reason that I can stand as an empowerment speaker and speak to stop spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are is because that's what I was doing when I worked in corporate America, when I worked at the record label. And so the ability to speak to high achievers, which is what I focus on, comes from the background of working with high achievers. Being able to see the challenges that my clients and your audience have comes because I worked in those environments that cause you to have stress and feel like you were constantly pressed and have the mommy or parent guilt because you're working and trying to integrate family and dating and all of that. So it all matters. Nothing I've done on my journey and nothing you've done on your journey has been wasted.
So what you're doing now, and you saying that if you couldn't speak, it would be like you just couldn't breathe. How does it feel to be in this alignment of purpose that you're in now?
Every day is a good day.
Yeah.
Even on the days that are very challenging, because this is what I prayed for. I had a moment a couple of months ago where, I was just stretched, family commitments, speaking engagements, written commitments. It was just a lot going on. And, you want to get anxious, you want to get stressed, you want to feel some weight of it. And I had to stop and check my own self and go, but Sheri, this is the purpose of God for your life. This is what you've prayed for. This is what you've sacrificed for. This is what you've studied for. This is what you've given and served for. And so when I tell you, it is a deep-rooted joy. It is a deep-rooted joy every day. But here's the thing. As much as I love exactly where I am, I'm still open to the flexibility of what the journey is going to unfold. And I think sometimes we get so locked in the good and the bad. We think the bad is going to last forever and we think the good is going to go away tomorrow, that we lose the flexibility of however the journey continues to unfold. So it's great right now, and I'm excited about what's going to continue to unfold.
Yes, me too. What happens tell me when you are speaking with any of your clients for just generalizing, but for the most part, what do you think is preventing people from walking in their purpose? Is there anything you think could it be fear, procrastination? What is the hesitation?
Well, I think the root of it we know is fear, and fear manifests itself in so many different ways, some very overt and obvious, and some very subtle. I think one of the biggest things out that how fear manifests itself is we get locked in not making a decision, right? We get locked in those words of, I don't know. And when we say, I don't know, we put a ceiling on a cap on the creative ideas, the innovative thinking. We put a cap on the ability to dream. We put a cap on ideas being able to manifest. And so one of the biggest challenges I found is when we say, I don't know, it keeps us from making a decision. And when we don't make a decision, we stop all forward movement. When we make a decision, it's either a positive move and we rinse and repeat, or it's a move that we learn from and we course correct. The biggest challenge to really walking in our purpose is just not making a decision.
So how do you feel like purpose changes or does it evolve?
Whoa, that's a good one. The jury for me is still out on that question. I feel like there's God has laid out the plan for us, right? But I think in our minute understanding of that, I'm still grasping with that. I'm honestly, and that's why I wanted to do this with you. It's why I so respect what you're doing, because I'm grappling with that question, is purpose, does it evolve? Does it change? The only thing that I know for sure is that many people are frozen because they feel like they don't know their purpose. And so they're frozen and they're not doing anything. And so the challenge I have is, have we made this idea of this one thing, this purpose so big that it's paralyzing people to just move? To just move on a path and trust that the movement is going to at least get you closer to whatever that thing is. Or we have people that are so locked that they're in a situation and they're waiting for that magical moment, that crystal ball to glow in front of them to say, this is my purpose. And so they're sitting in jobs or they're in situations that they're miserable, but they won't move because they want light of purpose to just bask on them. So I'm really still grappling with that. And I'm being really transparent because I think in that transparency that we're going to help people get free, that here's the thing, whether you're clear on your purpose, whether you're not clear on your purpose, move. Move. Because it's in the movement. It's in whether it's evolution or whether it's a change of direction. However you define it, move.
I do appreciate your answer with your honesty with that. Do you think that though, is there a clear-cut way to find your purpose, or do you think that for each and individual person, it's going to be different?
It's going to be different. For some people, they're going to, go on a vacation and sit in quiet for the first time. And it just they finally accept in the silence the truth that they've been seeking. For some people, they've hit their head so many times. They're so hurt that pain and that frustration finally makes them go, you know what? Something's got to give. For some people, they may find the love, from a parent, from a spouse, from their children, that finally gives them a sense of security that they go, man, I can do this. So I think there's many, many journeys to purpose, or us uncovering what that purpose is.
Yes. So, Sheri, what brought about the book? I have it here. Exponential Living. Stop spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are.
Yes.
And what brought about this book?
Well, I tell people all the time, I wrote the book for me. I'm just happy that other people are getting a message from it too. I was at LaFace Records. I had this amazing career, this amazing job. I had influence, I had access, I had money, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable because I was spending 100% of my time on 10% of who I was, meaning my career was everything. That's where I spent my time. That's where I gave all my energy. But I wanted my fulfillment from this small 10%. And I thought I was an anomaly. I mean, I just felt like this was my truth. But as a marketing executive, I still love marketing. I knew that that was a magnificent tagline, right? Stop spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are. Knew that was a magnificent timeline. But I wanted to know the how, right? How do you do that? Right. How do you do that? How do I do that? And so I went on this journey of really discovering how you do that. And it came together in these 9 principles. And I began to live these principles myself. My friends and colleagues began to see how it was helping, my life was changing. They didn't know what it was. They just saw me evolving. And they started asking me like, okay, girl, what are you doing? Or, can we go to lunch? Can we talk? And I started sharing these principles with them, and they started implementing them, and they started transforming and evolving. And so I knew that this was more than just a remedy for my challenges, that there was something here that could help others. And it took a friend of mine to kind of kick me in the butt and say, hey, you can't be selfish, get this message out to the world. And I went on the journey of getting getting my agents, getting a publishing deal, and putting the book out in the market.
Good. So you firsthand can say, if you're not truly living in even those segments of what you feel purpose may be, because it can change or it can evolve, you're not sure about that. But I know, and if you're not really truly living in what the essence of who you are and what you should be doing, you're not going to be happy. And you will be spending 100% of your time of 10% who you are, right?
And feeling empty.
Yeah.
Being busy but not productive. Having achievements but feeling unsuccessful. Living this amazing life but having a void that you can't shake. And at the core of exponential living, it's peace, clarity, and courage. At the core of it all, I've on this 20-year journey, no matter how complex the issue or challenge is, I've found that the fix is very simple. It's hard. It's very hard, but it's simple. And it has boiled down over the years to those 3 things. If we genuinely make peace our priority, then it always gives us clarity. And peace will always put you in a place where clarity exists. And when you put peace and clarity together, oh my God, there's nothing you can't do. There's no decision you won't make. There's no situation you can't face. I mean, it gives us the courage to really make the hard decisions, or to be very honest, to make the changes. And sometimes it gives us the courage just to sit still, just to be still and allow ourselves the opportunity to hear our own thoughts so that we can live in our own truth. So exponential living has just been, it's changed my life. And I'm so grateful that it's been a transformation component for others as well.
Yes, I enjoyed you so at when you spoke on stage at the Act Like a Success just recently, and I'm telling you're convincing us to let us know that we need to be walking more into that 100% of who we are than spending the 10% of who we really are. So I enjoyed you so, and I want you to share with the viewers one thing that you think, that a little piece of advice that you would give to someone listening today that would help them to stop waiting and do it now, to help them courageously follow their dreams. What would that be if there was one piece of advice?
I would say be very mindful that our skill and our talents can take us to levels of success that our character can't sustain. That we have to be just as committed to our personal development as we are to our professional growth. Just as committed to who we are as we are to what we do. Because so many times we're so driven and we're so focused, but we lose that confidence. So I would just encourage, the one thing is focus on that personal development and let it continue to help guide you so that you can truly walk in who you are and not just what you do.
Yes, I agree. Is there something that you wanted to offer to help people to be in exponential living today?
Yes, I would love for everyone to go to www.sheririley.com, SHERI, Riley, RILEY, SheriRiley.com. Join my Exponential Living community, and you'll receive an audio of the very first principle of exponential living. There's 9 principles. The first principle is live in your power. And so you'll get an audio that you can download with information on that first principle, live in your power. And I would love to connect on Instagram as well as Twitter. And it's the same, SheriRiley.com.
Very good. And tell everyone where they can get your book.
Everywhere ebooks, audiobooks, and hardcover books are sold. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Target, iTunes, Audible, any and everywhere books, audiobooks, and ebooks are sold. So for those of you who don't want the hardcover because you want to listen in your car, you want to listen while you're on that treadmill, the audiobook is available as well.
Thank you so much, Sheri, for coming today.
Oh, thank you. It was so good to hug on you and meet you. And I'm so excited for you. And this is so, so important because I really want to help you in getting people unstuck so that they can really move and prosper in their purpose.
Prosper in their purpose and live in exponential living. Yeah. Thanks again, Sheri. And I want to tell the viewers to stay tuned. There's more to come. Another great expert that's going to come on tomorrow. So I want you to just stay with us. And we want to thank you for being here. And I thank you again, Sheri. And I want you all to understand it's so important to live in your purpose. So stay tuned with that and have a fabulous day. I'm Lakita Brooks, the motivator.